Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to RScP's CSL. Good to see everybody out. This morning, we'd like to start out with the song, I've Got Peace Like a River.
Welcome to Grants Path Center for Spiritual Living. It is my deep honor and joy to welcome you here today. You did have many choices to go and partake in your own spiritual community, but you chose this one, and we are so glad to hear and see you on Zoom and in person. It just brings me such great joy to see all of your faces. So I'm glad to be here, and I know that you are too. Would you like to join me Paula Peterson, in reading our vision mission statement.
We are an open, loving, spiritual community dedicated to evolving consciousness through teaching spiritual principles.
As I said, I'm Paula Peterson, a practitioner here and your board president, and I have just a very few announcements today. So it's my joy to announce our game night. We have some activities and fundraising things that are in the future, and the first one is going to be this month, February 25th. It's a game night, and it'll be from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. How do you like to beat your friends at cards, or do you like to win at contests? How about winning fun prizes or a 50-50 raffle? If you answered yes to any of these questions, then game night is for you. So the fundraising committee is putting on game night, and includes, actually it was 8 games, but we had to include one more, so it's going to be 9 games. The 50-50 raffle, light snacks and beverages, and the cost is $10 per person, so you'll just pay at the door and then play whatever games that you like. And bring a friend or a family member. Center policies regarding masks and COVID safety protocols remain in place for all events. Contact Chris, Bucky, or Claudia if you have any questions. That fundraising committee also invites you to donate the following for this and future events, because there will be another game night in March. So we invite you to donate single serving snacks, such as bite-sized cookies or crackers, nuts, trail mix, popcorn, or dried fruit. Beverages such as bottled tea, juice, water, soda, or lemonade. Prize box items that are worth 50 cents to $1, like dollar store type items, party prizes, and household things. And right over there next to the books is information and sign up and all of that. So thank you for your support. And also, I'm kind of in charge of putting out those books. So those boxes of books that are we just ask for a donation of $1 or whatever, I rotate them. So if you are a reader and like metaphysical books, we have a whole bunch of surplus in the back, and I put them out, and I just put a new box out today. So keep checking there, and when you put $1 in the basket, we just add it to our bookstore fund. So that's where it goes. Thank you. And as you may have heard, Bruce Stone made his transition January 14th at his home in Cave Junction. He did serve on the board here from 2003 to 2006, along with many, many other accomplishments. His memorial and celebration of life will be held April 3rd, 2022. And if you look online in your e-news, you will see his full obituary. And Gail Stone said, please contact her if you have any questions. And most of you know that the metaphysical book study is on hold for February. And that's it for announcements. Please stand and join Dave as he plays and sings We Are One. Thank you.
We are one. We are one. I am you, you are me, we are one. And in this unity, we shall live in harmony. As we stand together, as we are one. We are one. We are one. I am
Anybody? No, I guess that everybody's been here before, and that's a good thing too. Remember to turn down or shut off your cell phones or anything that makes noise. Thank you. And let's read the prayer together that's on the screen. Yeah. Wait, there it is. Okay. I absolutely know that I am here on earth, evolved and most important, to remember the divinity that I truly am. Knowing I am much more than my body, I celebrate all that I am as part of God. And so it is. Let's all sing I Am Loved. You remain seated and we'll sing it. So it's time for our meditation time together, and I have some thoughts for you to think about before we begin. I have a couple quotes from Michael Beckwith and Ernest Holmes, and then a few words from me, and then we'll go into the silence together. In this moment of quietude, this moment of devotion, this moment of resolve, I let go of all that would inhibit my realization of my oneness with the Spirit. And that's from Reverend Michael Beckwith. And from Ernest Holmes, I let my inner spirit fill my whole being with peace and stillness. I am grateful for the serenity of my heart and soul when I go within. I am thankful for devoting time with absolute dedication to the oneness that I recognize in all of nature, in the zillions of stars each night, in the clockwork of the seasons, and in all creatures great and small, including us humans. After a time of inner discord, I welcome back my serene state of mind. I am calm, I am centered, I am content, and I am fulfilled. Any problems dissolve when I center myself in the harmony and peace of the universe. When I accept life just like it is, that is key to feeling serene. I am grounded in God, and if I doubt that, I can reassert that in my prayer and meditation time until I'm immersed back into the oneness. And as we enter our meditation time together in the stillness, we'll spend a couple minutes in that silence and go ahead and ask yourself these two questions. Who am I and why am I here? And listen to Spirit's quiet voice within give you answers. I'll let you know when it's time to come back to the room. When you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes and stretch a little bit and be here now. In this beautiful peace and serenity, I recognize the presence right here, right now, and everywhere. I know this Grants Pass Center for Spiritual Living service this morning is blessed, is filled with love and connection, and that all received the message they were meant to receive. And that includes all here and those on Zoom and Facebook Live. I'm so grateful for our coming together, for the powerful energy of our community, and for this morning's service powerfully presented by Trazia Wylie. Thank you, God. And please join me in affirming. And so it is. So it's time for special music by wonderful Dave and Tracy's magnificent talk.
Well, good morning, everyone. And this morning, I like to play an old song for you. And this song, when you think of old songs back in the 60s and 70s, well, I'm going to go further back than that. It's not in the 40s either. Because about 100 years ago, if you know your history, we went through pretty much the same thing we're going through right now. And everybody got sick. And then everybody, toward the end of the decade there, everybody, you know, the whole thing just kind of came down. I'm talking about the 1920s. Oh, yeah. Of course, I don't think anybody was alive back then or like today. I like how we got one. This song came out in 1928, okay? And, you know, these people were singing it way back then, 100 years ago almost. And it goes like this. Oh, we ain't got a barrel of money. Maybe we're ragged and funny, but we're traveling along, singing a song, side by side. Oh, we don't know what's coming tomorrow. Maybe it's trouble and sorrow, but we're traveling the road, sharing the load, side by side. Through all kinds of weather. What if the sky should fall? Just as long as we're together, it really doesn't matter at all. Because when they all have the quarrels and parted, we'll be the same as we started. We're just a traveling along, singing a song, side by side. Easy song. sky should fall. Just as long as we're together, it really doesn't matter how. When they've all had their quarrels and heartache, we'll be the same as we started. We're just traveling along, Scooby-Dooby-Doo, side by side, side by side. Shave and a haircut, 2 bits.
Thank you, Dave. That's too much fun, right? There. Am I on? I'm
Yes.
on. Oh, good. Okay, great. All right, let me get myself a little set up here. Good morning. Oh, and I am counting the days until one of us.
I think that's really.
I believe it. I believe it. I'm just gonna believe it. Right? So first of all, I just wanted to thank Dave because that was super fun. Let's give him a hand, right? Good company is what it's all about. I'm so grateful for all of you here and so many of you who have walked with me in this journey to even stand here. And so thank you for being part of my side by side. And also to everyone out in Zoom land, I can't tell, I was trying to peek over into the computer to see who's here, but I know you're out there and they're in Facebook Live, and welcome. And I'm so incredibly glad you were able to join us this morning. And also sending love out to Reverend Steve and Chris and Carson. They went to the Senior Bowl in Mobile, Alabama, and I'm hoping to hear a good report back from that soon. All right, so in case you didn't catch it, I'm Trazia Wylie, and I'm your guest speaker this morning. And I have the pleasure of introducing our new theme for February, which is Living Everyday Wonder, the Inner Life. And who am I and why am I here is my talk title for today. So, yeah, let's take a breath. Who am I? This is the question of a lifetime. It really is. It's the everyday question of a lifetime. So we're going to unpack it. We can see that at the physical level, we are bodies. Now I'm just going to tell you, I have an entire message about how magnificent your body is, but that's for another day. In fact, I was thinking it might make a great workshop, so stay tuned. I'm really interested in talking about this magnificent body. That's not today's message. Our bodies are magnificent and carry within them every experience that we have here on earth. Every thought, every feeling, every memory of our story is here within us. Life energy flows through and animates every cell of our beingness and even emanates out away from us. We can tell that there's energy coming from us. Our whole world, all of nature, is full of life. So many different forms, so beautiful. And when we're in it, we feel it. We feel our connection to it. And you go out into the forest, you stand under the trees, you hear the water. And that is what we are on some deep level. We can feel that. And when we look into each other's eyes and we hold each other's hands, we know that we're a part of each other. We're connected. It's powerful. Life energy animating us. We think and reason, wonder and imagine. It's pretty good stuff. And we're also creative. Our thoughts and beliefs create all kinds of things, from smoothies to skyscrapers. But is that why we're here? Being able to manifest things is great. But we all know people who have lots of things and who can create lots of things and still seem to have no joy and still seem to seek out purpose in their lives. Does God have a purpose for our lives? We ask wonder-filled questions. So humanity has always had a lot of ideas about God. You might hear me use God and spirit interchangeably. But if we lay some common ground here, our questions, I believe, will begin to answer themselves. Our founder, Ernest Holmes, tells us that God is the creative intelligence of the universe. And it is the cause and source of all visible things. Quantum physics confirms that everything is energy and that it's all connected. We can feel it, and now we confirm it. It's all one thing happening here. And so what that means is that God is making everything, including us, out of itself. All the qualities of God are within us. Let's take a deep breath. And bring yourself to stillness for a moment. I so appreciate and so much gratitude for Deborah's meditation this morning and her message, because it was spot on. Stillness, yes. In stillness, we can sense God's presence. When you ask the stillness within, who am I? You begin to awaken consciousness. A couple of weeks ago, somebody asked, what is consciousness? This is where we awaken consciousness and asking these questions. Who am I and why am I here? We ask this stillness. We begin to expand our awareness. We touch. We enter the internal sanctuary where we can hear the voice of God within. But we must be still and know. We increase our awareness by spending quiet time with Spirit, experiencing the qualities of God that always exist within us. We can sense love. We can sense joy. We can sense peace. The music was so perfect this morning, too. Thank you, Dave. It is in our courtship of divine presence and our awareness of ourselves as spiritual beings that we begin to reveal the truth of who we are and what we are. We are physical bodies imbued with the creative intelligence of the universe. Cool. And through that intelligence, we think and feel and create. It is, the more we are aware of ourselves, our thoughts, beliefs, and opinions, the more we can become conscious and intentional about what we are creating. You can see the advantage of being intentional about your creation, man. Yeah. When a challenging emotion upsets us, we recognize that we are no longer in alignment with the truth of spirit. We can feel the wobble of misalignment inside of us. It's almost a physical sensation like imbalance. We know when we feel that upset, that wobble, that our thoughts have strayed away from divine truth, which is that God is all there is. Have you ever been triggered? Right? Somebody says something and pow, it hits a nerve. Cascade of emotions come flowing in and all rational thought leaves the building. Did you know that you are not physically able to have a rational thought when you are triggered? It's not physically possible. Because what's happened is that the part of your brain that has been activated sends a flood of chemicals into your body that says, run! And you're not really getting the message in the part of your brain that thinks. And so when you get that triggered message, I have learned to stop talking and start walking, right? And I may rant or fume or cry or all of the above. And it's okay. I've learned to allow myself the grace of having my feelings. And when it's all released and I've let go of all of that, because it's emotional energy, and energy in motion, that's what our emotions are. And so when it comes up like that, like a flood, let it go. It's okay. There's something in there that's asking to be seen and heard and resolved. And in that stillness, when I can finally return myself to stillness after I've let all that go, I can ask myself, I can check in, what is the thought that's causing me to wobble? What am I thinking and telling myself it's out of balance and out of alignment with truth? And as I quiet myself, the healing balm of love works into my heart, it works into my mind, reveals where my misunderstandings are, brings light into my beingness, and nudges me toward different possibilities and different perspectives. And I can ask again, who am I? And why am I here? In daily life, we are all the time projecting what we carry within us. Our relationships are our mirrors. And it is through these relationships that we see ourselves reflected. When our buttons get pushed, we point the finger and blame. But this is a good moment to pause and pull that finger back. This is an opportunity to listen to our emotional thoughts because they're giving us a message. Ask, what am I holding on to? Because really the only thing that has any power to harm you in any way or upset you in any way is something you're holding on to that you could probably let go. Ask, what am I holding against myself? Because in truth, that's the only person we ever hold anything against. Ask, where am I blocking love? We choose who we are, moment by moment. If we do not identify ourselves, if we don't know ourselves, if we do not discover our authentic self, then the world will do it for us. It may be as benign as the next great fad or the newest gizmo, or maybe as significant as the daily news, the government, or the idea of a cosmic judge. All are telling us what to think, what to buy, how to fit in, how to be all right. Many have given away power to external forces or outside authorities, telling us what to think and do next. This is how society gives us a false identity. This is how we lose our authentic power. I'm a bit of a news junkie, which means I'm subject to media infusion. Just a click of the mouse, and I have instant information from thousands of miles away. And when I read too much or too often, I begin to feel worried and anxious. It seems that every single day there is something new to be concerned about. I start pulling away from people. I stop having fun. That ever happened to you? I sense in that moment that I am not in agreement with spirit. I know this intellectually now. I've watched myself long enough to recognize it. When I'm pulling away and hiding from my life, I'm clearly not in alignment with spirit. And so I know what to do. The wobble has returned and my thoughts have drifted away from divine truth. And again, I'm at that moment of choice. Who am I and why am I here? Clearly, it's not about that. If I take another media infusion, it's another trip right down that rabbit hole. But if I redirect my time, taking in good word, read a good book, taking in prayer time, giving myself the stillness of meditation, then I begin to feel inspired and optimistic about life again. It's just good. Every time we release a negative thought or experience, we make room for our own spiritual evolution. Every time we choose to embrace the essential qualities of God, such as love and joy and peace, we reveal more of our essential beingness, more of the divine spark that is within us. Create your art. Sing your song. Bring your developed gifts and talents into the world. Share your uniqueness with the world. Your essential being will be revealed in that process. You will fulfill your purpose and you will live your life authentically. Because we may forget who we are, but the divine essential spark that is within us cannot ever be diminished or destroyed. It is ageless, timeless, unchangeable. It is the truth of us. We are always creating, whether we know it or not. When we create unconsciously, we get all kinds of things showing up in our lives, right? Some good and some kind of surprising. When we are intentional and conscious in our creation is when we are able to sing our song and bring our gifts and share our art. These are our creating intentionally. And that is how we step into our purpose. We are operating at a higher consciousness when we choose to be intentional in our creation. You're in charge. You're in charge. Because the creative intelligence of the universe flows through you. When I was young and mostly unconscious, I was always afraid of not being enough. I was afraid of being rejected. And guess what? I was. We get these ideas, about what we could be, thinner or richer or smarter or more spiritual. And then we beat ourselves up and we don't really live up to those standards. The way we feel about ourselves determines the quality of our lives. We reap what we sow into creative law. Once I began to recognize the truth of spirit in me, I began to celebrate my life. I began to dance, which is absolutely crazy. You have no idea what a huge leap that was. I began to dance. And not only dance, but invite other people to dance and teach them how. It was fabulous. It's still fabulous. I called in a beautiful circle of friends with mutual love and respect presiding over every time we come together. That's still so true. What a beautiful thing to have in my life, the celebration of life. Loving myself frees me to love others, to creatively express, and ultimately to walk in my divine purpose. But what does it mean to love myself? I think that's kind of gotten a bad rap a little bit, but we look at it a little differently here, don't we? Healing begins when we take responsibility for our thoughts, for our words, and for our actions. And this paves the way to self-love. Self-love means having the courage to listen and respond to the emotional messages within. What are they telling us about our beliefs? Are these beliefs going to cause us to self-sabotage or to transcend? We peel away the layers of old thinking and habits every time we recognize our own stuff. I sabotaged myself by believing that I was not enough. Rather than living in divine truth, I was lost, trying to get validation and acceptance outside of myself. Ernest Holmes said, "We see the world through ourselves. We do not see things as they are, but as we are." The real work is to know yourself, to know that you are pure spirit, to love yourself for who you really are. Recognize and align with your authentic power to be love in the world. Mother Teresa, Mahatma Gandhi, Jesus, all three changed the world. All three recognized the divine love that was within them, their power, their authentic power to exercise and be divine love in the world. You are made of exactly the same God stuff. You have the power to be change makers now. Genesis 33:10 says, "For I have seen your face, and it's like seeing the face of God." By our thoughts and our choices, we create our lives and we affect our world. Divine presence lives within us and calls us to be still and know. As we peel away our old egoic thinking and reveal the qualities of God within, we evolve in consciousness and love. We learn to love ourselves and begin to recognize divine love in others. Align your thoughts and actions with that divine spark burning unchanged within you. The purpose of your life becomes evident in the living it out day by day. Our purpose is in sharing our unique experiences and talents ignited by the divine fire within. So share your unique experience. Share your talents. Appreciate it when others share theirs with you. Practice the presence. Practice love. Be still and know that the warmth you feel is the divine fire within. This is who we are. This is why we are here. Take a nice deep breath. Let it out, close your eyes, and ask again, who am I? Why am I here? I'm pausing here in this moment of stillness. We bless this time that we've shared together. We bless this message as it sinks into the hearts of the hearers and goes out and reverberates into the community. So much gratitude for the people who have come together today. So much gratitude for the truth of us, that we are divine, that we are here on purpose, that we are the reflection of love in the world. We know and claim this truth in us. We know and claim that love is our birthright, that joy and peace reside within us, and we are that in the world. And so with gratitude, we lift up this time, we lift up these words, we lift up these people, we lift up our hearts. So grateful for all of this good, and we release it into this creative law that is everywhere, responding to our very words. And we affirm it together by saying, and so it is. Thank you. I believe now we're going to do an operatory prayer. I have my little checklist here. So we're just going to open up our hearts, because the truth is that giving begins with so much gratitude. And so I just invite you to settle into the place of gratitude in your body. Just recognizing so much good in our lives. We have so much. I'm so grateful for the good in our lives. Let's speak our prosperity sharing affirmation together. I am so thankful to tithe of the great abundance that is already mine, and I give, so I receive. And so it is. That is the nature of giving, indeed. So we're going to have some music and receive our offering. Let's bless these gifts. I am so grateful for this center, for being able to come here and be together week after week. I'm so grateful for these gifts and tithes and these offerings that bless this center and keep it open for us so that we can come here and share and learn and remember who we are. I'm grateful for this time that we've shared, and I'm grateful that these gifts are going to multiply. They bless not only us, but our community and our world. So with so much gratitude, we release this good blessing into the law of mind that is already multiplying it. And we say, and so it is. Let's see, let's go somewhere. How about there? Oh, well, let's see, my list says we're up to the closing song. Is this a stand-up song or a sit-down song? Stand-up song, yay!
Thank you.
There's nothing embodied my affairs. I think it. I think it. I feel it. I feel it. And I know it. I know it. Just the way that it is. Just the way that it is. And just the way that it is not. Just the way it is not. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Have a great week, everyone.